trigger points in this muscle, and they all sit just under the iliac crest. There's one here, there's one there, and there's one right in the front. And when these triggers are active, when this trigger is active, you feel the pain here. So it's in the classic lower back pain area. That's this trigger. This trigger gives you pain more lateral, and this trigger, again for some strange reason, gives you this classic muscular lower back pain. So these triggers, you need to think of these triggers because they're very common. They're very commonly missed because somebody says, my back's hurting, everyone prods around here. You may find stuff in this area, do manipulations, do stuff, but what people miss are these very, very important triggers. The way you find them, the fibers run in this direction. These directions, they fan out, so you feel under the edge of the iliac crest, you duck your finger in, you search for you move backwards and forwards until you find a tight band. Once you find your tight band, you focus in and you find a thickening, and then you press firmly enough on that thickening. You find out whether there is pain. If he says that's sore, then you reduce the pressure to just below the pain threshold, and then over the next 20 to 30 seconds, you sit and then you slowly increase the pressure, increasing, staying below the pain threshold until the trigger itself melts away. So that's ischemic pressure to treat these triggers. The second is using a ice pack, and you start from the origin, you run to the insertion. Now this is tricky because the pain zone is over here. So what I tend to do is I tend to start here and I run into the pain zone and then I run down to the insertion. You could also run down there and come up here. Two options like that. But I tend to do this, run down into there, do 2 or 3 runs, and then to stretch this muscle, well, there are 2 ways to stretch the muscle, because these fibers will tend to, because they're behind the long axis of your body, they will not only abduct but extend, because that's there. So to stretch this muscle, what you do is you drop it forward, and that will lengthen the more horizontal parts of the gluteus medius. But the parts that are in the front of the muscle, the way you stretch those is you extend and then you drop the leg over the edge of the bed.